Hey everybody, and welcome to Dee Talk Live Thursdays. Hope everybody is really well and we're enjoying our beautiful weather that we're having and we're going to have for the next few days. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm suffering from really bad hay fever. It's like to the point where the pollen is so strong at the moment, it's crazy. Tonight, we talk about one of the hugest topics that we've probably covered on Dee Talk Live because it's what my business pretty much stands for. It's what I represent, it's who I look after, and it's who I want to really help, and that's the generations to come and the younger generations. So tonight we thought of asking this question and putting this topic out there for everyone to answer and to get your view and tell me what you think. We've also got research that's been sent to us via Quora.com by two individual students. One, in fact, from India and another one, I think, either from the United States or the United Kingdom. So tonight's question pretty much just smears the topic of what are the challenges you think the next generations will face. This topic actually came up during the week while having a conversation with a group of friends. And what I was told was that the younger millennials do not pick up the phone, which is a known fact for me as well. Because working in retail and working in fashion for so many years, when I was looking after the girls, they were so scared to answer the phone. They were so scared to talk to someone because they weren't confident enough. And, you know, it was easier for them to hide behind, you know, the phone in somewhat way where they'd just send a message. And the same thing happened during the week where somebody actually told me that they've actually got each other's numbers, but they're more or less sending them messages rather than just calling them, which I think is quite absurd. Pick up the phone and call people. They want to listen to your voice. And these are the types of qualities and morals and things we need to enlist to the younger generation in order for them to become so dynamic. That's what I mean by giving them that next step, because that's what they're lacking. They're lacking the self-confidence. They're lacking self-worth. They're lacking many things because unfortunately, the parents are to blame, right? I'm not a parent. I understand it's hard, but you have to let the kids do things for themselves as well. Teach them. You know, they need to learn because later on, they're not going to have you. They're going to have themselves, right? Because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time, as we say. So we need to really help this generation in order to educate it and really go about, you know, showing them things that we've learned from our parents and previous generations that have given us that confidence and that drive in order to keep on going and not giving up, because they give up so easily, right? Because they don't have that support that they need. That's what's actually happening. It's a missing link where they need the support. They need to be told how amazing they are. You know, we're all quite different, especially in regards to characters and personalities. Not everyone's always going to be the same, but to somewhat sense, these kids need us to enlist these values and to educate them and listen to them and be there for them. You know, even at work, I'm always, you know, giving the girls advice and telling them how much I love them and telling them they can always talk to me if they need someone to talk to, because that's what type of person I am. And hence why I think I created this business, you know. But it's a massive, massive problem that we're having and that we're facing in society. And yes, I know climate change is huge because it has a lot to do with, future, the future demographic and what will come and what will be. And it's amazing how millennials and Gen Next are getting involved in such, intellectual topics. Because back in my days, it wasn't about that. We had never even thought about climate change and stuff. And that's what I mean by saying this generation is so advanced that we really need to be there to support them in order for them to become even more amazing. So everybody needs to help and give their advice and their knowledge and their wisdom in order for these young individuals to grow. So they become those fabulous, dynamic leaders that we want them to be and that they want themselves to be. But they need something else. They need the confidence, they need the self-assurance. They're different. That's how it is. And especially now with social media, that's what's really diminishing their ego and really cutting into their psychological well-being. It's a mental facade that is not well because your personality or you as a person gets, judged by how many likes you have, or how many followers you have, or how many people have commented on your status or your pictures, or who's wearing that, or they're doing this. Yes, back in the days in regards to fashion, you were expected to wear somewhat the same sort of stuff that everybody else was. Otherwise, you would be seen as, it would be some sort of alienation happening, right? But it's not as bad as it is now because we have such a technology that, is so 24-hour circulating and it's so available, right? Which in terms of social media, it's a fantastic tool, don't get me wrong. But it's not the be all to end all, right? This is what we need to really educate these guys because they're missing out on what's really happening around them, which is life. And it's so beautiful to just go out there without technology, without anyone, to find yourselves, to really know who you are and not to, follow suit and always do what everybody else is doing. Really find your identity, really find the person that you are. Because you know what? You're special, like everybody is. You're special because it's your identity. It's uniquely yours. And you should really stand where you, present yourself. You're that type of person that is able to, go out there and be independent and have something different. Not everybody needs to look the same or act the same. Remember, we weren't made the same. We're a different genetic makeup at the end of the day. And we're so different in our personalities and our gene pool and where we come from and our morals and everything, the way we present ourselves, the way we express ourselves. We're so special in these ways. And that's why we were never supposed to be cloned. How boring would it be if you were cloned? How boring would it be if you were just anyone, You want to be yourself. Or how boring would it be to be the person that you believe that you are because you're copying everybody else. So it's pretty much a repeat pattern. It's like a Pandora effect. Why do you have to be like everybody else? Why can't you just be you and love you for who you are? Because we have been programmed throughout social media to be a specific way. And it shouldn't be that way. Yes, businesses, it's beneficial. It's a great tool. It's amazing to get messages out there and informative, but sometimes it goes beyond the boundaries. It goes over the top and it's too much. And these guys are really getting affected by what's happening in this society. There are so many things that are happening. And these guys here, which I'm going to read today, I'm going to tell you guys, this question is a massive question that was presented to a number of people, and the points, the dots, the things that they make and say are so well researched and so on point because it's what's actually happening at the moment. We really need to get under this and over this and pretty much stick with it and help those that can't help themselves, because there's so much of this going on at the moment, right? So, in regards to dangers that people face as well, this guy is from India, and, we more or less, these kids, the younger generation is facing suicidal tendency. Since younger generations can access anything and everything on the go, they don't feel like interesting outside of their comfort, and apparently, it loses their interest in society and living life and end up having this suicidal tendency because they get bored, right? Because they see the same old thing. And because there's nothing better to actually see outside, because social media has made it such a big thing with, oh my God, if you don't have this, it's over dramatized in one sense, and we overreact with a lot of things that happen throughout social media. Therefore, these kids are seen as put in a position where if they go outside, they expect things to be even bigger and better. Get it? And that's the reason why they're like that. Propagating weak genetics. Most of us are getting used to couch life and slowly weakening our generation and coming generations. Too much dependency on machines. From traveling to washing clothes, everything has been done by machines as well. Obviously, it's a machine-based company. Machine-based generation, because technology has evolved. It's become better. It's become stronger. Even as I was saying before, with climate change, planet has already, overpopulated. In 2016 itself, we consumed the whole year of the energy and water in just 7 months, which is crazy, right? And this is a guy that's talking to me via India, right? So this is huge. These are huge statistics. That place is huge. It is overpopulated, but it's a huge country regardless. So it's massive. And the great social media. So this one is by Gregory Smith. So the problems that we face, especially younger generations or next generations that are about to come in to effect. Our young generation is getting influenced by social media influencers with expensive terrorists, and not by the real one who is making a great impact on society's well-being, right? A young generation determines their worth depending on the number of likes and comments, which is sad. Can you believe it? Can you believe that that is actually happening? That, we as a society need someone to tell us how amazing our photo is, or, leaving us likes or comments or blah, blah, blah. Like, seriously, these kids need our help, Our young generation is rebelling against injustice on social media by failing to take a stand in real life. Exactly, which is what I was saying about them being too scared to even talk to people on the phone. They're hiding, they're shying away, they're hiding, they're fearful, they're hiding away from, real life and what's actually happening. How are they going to deal with these problems later when they have no one to hide behind? Do you know what I mean? We really need to enlist these values in them. Our young generation admires nature more on social media platforms than in real life, which is what I was saying. It's crazy. Go out there, smell the fresh air. It's amazing out there. Have a good time. And when you're in nightclubs or bars, get off your phones. Like, you're there for a reason. Have a good time. And I'm not meaning to meet anyone, but even if you were going to meet anyone, how would you meet anyone, right? When you're on your phone. You're too busy upon what's happening on social media rather than being presently aware at what's actually happening in regards to your surroundings. You guys really need to do something. And, stop being like that. Try. You'll live life better and it'll be so much more amazing, These are the things we really need to help them with and tell them that it's okay. You don't need to be on your phone, And that's where I'm saying self-worth, self-confidence issues. These are underlying issues that we have, A young generation is busy vlogging about nature rather than enjoying it in real life as well, of course. Our younger generation has more virtual friends than real friends. In reality, this is so true. Think about it. How many of those friends do you talk to? How many of those friends actually meet up with you or catch up with you for a coffee? How many? Exactly. This is my whole point, right? If you go out there and you start meeting friends, you'll have a lot more virtual friends on there that you actually go out with and you actually talk to. Rather than just having them there and going, oh, you look nice, I'll just add you. Or I don't know you, but it doesn't matter. We can be friends and we can talk on here, even though I haven't even, met you or anything. You might even be a suicidal, what's it called, or something, or a psychotic killer or something, things like that. That's why it's so dangerous these days as well. I remember back in the days in my generation, we were able to go outside and play cricket to all hours in the morning. And yes, believe it or not, I used to play cricket. Everyone's going to be like, what? You used to play cricket? What do you mean? Our young generation is more depressed and has anxiety issues than ever, which is the one that I really wanted to press on. These issues not only span from self-worth, not only span from the guidance that they've been given, but more so through social media, because they look into the future rather than looking into where they actually are. They're never in the present, they're always in the future. So they're always worried about what's going to happen next, where am I going to go, what's going to become of me, I have to do this, I have to do that. Hence why anxiety and depression is so huge, right? Living in the present and really working out what's going on in your life at that moment is all you need to worry about. The past is gone. The future is not even here yet. So why are we so fixated with what's going to happen instead of enjoying our time right here? So I'm here now with you guys. I'm having the best time of my life because I am concentrating on you guys, right? My audience, I love you, right? And the people that I am in this moment with, because this moment you can never get back, right? So always be in the moment that you're in, because these are memories and they're beautiful. You don't need to go over there. Stay here. Whatever is to come will come. Let go and let God. Whatever will be, right? Mentality. We need to really get it back to vulnerability, to purity, to authenticity, and staying in the present in order to really help this generation as well. Not what are you going to do next week? What are you going to, whenever it comes, it comes. We get to that hurdle when it gets to us, not now, right? So that's another thing. And that's where these issues span from. Hence, after you have the anxiety and the depression, that's where the suicidal tendencies come into it as well. Because the self-worth issues become so large that it spans to such a massive scale that these kids don't know what to do or where to go and don't want to talk to anybody, because they are so far gone that, it's pretty much done. Do you know what I mean? That's why we really need to concentrate on these issues at the moment, especially within terms of future. They're presently here, these issues, but more are to come and more are slowly weaving themselves in to that generation. Hence why past generations, need to really help these guys in order for them to really know different things and learn different things and really have a zest for life like we did when we were growing up, as I still do now. That's what we really need to do. And then also, having the right knowledge will teach them how to use these platforms in a right way, whereas the right education will teach them about how to use it for the right purpose. Get it? See the difference? You can use social media. We're not saying not to use social media, but use it in the right way in order for it to benefit you, not for it to actually abuse you and, take over your mind and make you brainwashed in a specific way where you think that you need to be a specific way or act a specific way or have, the same things that everybody else has or look the same. For God's sake, why would you want to look like everybody else? You know, you're so beautiful the way that you are. Why would you? Flaws and all. We are who we are. We create our own destiny and our own reality. Why wouldn't you do that? By standing in your own sovereignty and just being there and not caring about, I've got to look like this and I've got to do that, you know? And there are some millennials and Generation Nexts that don't care, right? But that's where they've been educated, and see, they educate their friends. It's like planting a seed in someone's mind in order for it to, you know, manifest, to become tenfold, to keep on going like a domino effect, you know, more or less. So all generations have lost something, either because of natural calamities or human activities, and we are still losing it. Exactly. Because of what keeps on happening, how technology keeps on adhering, how it keeps on making us believe specific things in specific ways, you know? So, but in the end, the ultimate power lies in the hands of humans to make the world a better place to live. Exactly. Which is why I stress so much in regards to this topic and want this generation to become amazing, because they're part of our world, the future world. And we really need to help them to get back to center and become that so much more amazing that they will become. We really need to support them, and we need to help others. That's the whole thing. It's not about only self-love. It's about, you know, unconditional love. But that goes on a global scale. You know, if you're able to do something for somebody, do it. If you're able to help an organization, go out there and do it. Do something that doesn't only it benefits everybody else. And that's why I started this business, you know. So we really need to get on top of these guys, you know. It's such an important topic for me, and I'm so passionate about it. And I hope you guys really take this message out there and try and tell people as much as you can that it's not about the likes, that it's not about, you know, what that person's wearing or who's looking like this or, you know, what everybody else does. Cool, call them. Take the phone and go, hey, what's going on? Talk to them, you know. Don't be scared, my beautiful millennials and, you know, my Generation Next. Don't be scared of anything. It's just life. You know, you really, really need to get out there and really live life to its fullest, you know, and not be stuck in this world where, you know, you think that you have to, you know, you don't have to do anything. You have to do what you want to do, you know. That's how it is. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for joining me tonight on Dee Talk Live. This is one of the biggest topics that, you know, it means so much to me. Please send the message out. Please send, you know, so much advice. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much support. Thank you very much for consistently joining me. Thank you for everything. I'm so grateful and I'm so humbled for everything you guys do. I will see you again next week on Dee Love Talk Mondays. I love you so much. Much love to everybody, everywhere around the world, everywhere, wherever you are. I love you all, okay? Have the best night or day or whatever it is you guys are having at the moment. And we'll talk